Hollywood, women filmmakers continue to push for equality in the bustling industry.
To fix the gender disparity in employment opportunities for female directors, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is pressing charges on major studios for misconduct proven by statistics after 2 years of ongoing investigations.
The success of their interference, however, is controversial.
The Peace Corps asserts in an April article, at all levels, including at home and in the public arena, women are widely underrepresented as decision makers. So as film directors, when the decision-making is the job description, the gender gap materializes, blurring the perception of audiences.
One of the main issues that is preventing women from getting ahead is the fact that we aren't what you think of when you hear director.
According to the latest report by the Women in Film Organization, females today make up roughly 7.5% of directors of top-grossing studio system films.
There was really a wave, and it was popular and considered generous to consider women as equal in the business, and then there was huge roadblocks after that.
I saw everybody looking at me like, oh my God, she's a woman. I can't believe she did that. And I just remember thinking, but what? Look at the product that I did. That's how I did it, not because I was overcoming being a woman.
As well as filmmakers.
This seems like it's going to be more of a challenge than just doing the work and being a filmmaker and telling stories and understanding the stories that I want to tell, understanding my own voice. You know, that's hard enough, but having to overcome this additional obstacle of nobody taking you seriously, that was something I was not prepared for.
Even though the graduation of most film schools is 50 male, 50 female.
When I was in the master's film program at USC, that's when I first started to see the kind of issues that I would be facing as a director in Hollywood who is a woman.
The EEOC intervened in an attempt to solve the problem.
Having EEOC come in and say, hey, listen, we need to start looking at your hiring practices. We need to look at those unconscious biases that are actually in effect at a lower level that's not bringing those women to the top. That is going to affect real change. If it brings hostility, that shows the immaturity of this industry, and they need to set it straight.
Investigations of the practices of Hollywood's top film studios began in October of 2015 and continued to February of this year, when the commission pressed charges on every elite studio in Hollywood, mandating future job interviews to be shared equally between both genders, which potentially entails the end of the gender-genre association stereotype as well.
It's not very fair to look at a woman and think she's only going to tell woman stories, right? Like, I want to do action films, and people keep going, oh my God, you're a woman making action films, making horror films. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to do romantic comedies because I'm a chick.
Many agree the gap needs an end, yet action is difficult to execute.
Just understanding that there's a problem, that's the first step. Then taking action. That's where it's really difficult because a lot of studio heads don't really understand what that action means. They are aware, but because the EEOC is coming in and saying, hey, regardless of you being aware, you actually have to do something now, that's going to benefit real change.
As Catherine Bigelow tells Time, gender discrimination stigmatizes our entire industry. Change is essential. Gender-neutral hiring is essential.
Let's make it all even, and let's try to get a 50-50 in terms of the talent between men and women, because we're all directors.
The goal now is to equalize the level of competition between both genders.
This industry is tough. You're trying to prove to people that you can do something that there aren't many positions for in the first place.
My feeling is the more women who get out there and get a chance and get hired back and prove that they are fabulously talented, the more the numbers are going to change.
We asked the directors what actions women can take to change the situation.
Go out there and make films, because really, directors direct. You don't need a huge amount of material or cameras to do it. You need a little iPhone and you need a story and some passion. So I think the more recognition that women get for telling great stories, the more chances women in the future will get to tell more stories.
Though a lawsuit may prove unnecessary, the EEOC has made its intent to close the gender gap very clear.
The studio's response to the legal threat is yet to be determined.